Civic Type R EP3, which you saw me buy in the last video. And now that I've had a bit of experience with it, it's time to show you around it, take it out on the road and see what's what. And for a bit of added, shall we say, humour in the video, Sam is joining us and he's going to be our main cameraman. So inside we find, admittedly, quite a basic interior. However, I do really like it. I particularly like the suede Alcantara seats with the red filler in the middle. There's just something about them. They're not the comfiest seats in the world. They don't hug you like a proper race car, but I think they are very nice. And if we get Sam to very kindly zoom in
on what?
Onto the inside.
Zooming.
We can see we've got a little glove box full of stuff, full of glove box things. We've got a little cubby hole here under the radio. This is probably my favourite bit. Nice little Type R logo down here. However, you pull it back, you've got space for 2 more cup holders and whatever you like. In my case, CDs. And on the driver's side, we've got another little cubby hole here and a little one down here, and a nice little pull-out thing for you to store your drinks. What's the legroom like, Sam?
I like the legroom, to be honest. I know this seat is a bit far back. That was my fault when we were driving here. But to be honest, if it was a logical person sitting there, as opposed to a lanky twat who likes to lie down in his car,
Like you.
like me, it's actually not too bad, because you can fit the 2 and a bit people that you normally fit in the back of a car, like 2.3, something like that, with their legs.
Except you can't, because for some reason on Type R models, Honda decided to remove a seatbelt in the back.
Ah, so you
So
can
it's a
only have
4-seater.
the two people in the back.
But that is an excuse to give one less person a lift, and it means you've got more room for, say, a party when I crank up the music.
Now you're talking.
And what do you think of the seats? A lot of people say the seats in this car are quite hard compared to other models.
Well, to be honest, they are a bit harder than, let's say, your standard Ford Focus seats. But it is a bit more of a racing machine, this one. So you need a little bit more firmness with it. If it's a bit too saggy, you're going to melt into the seat. You don't want to melt in the seat. You want to be alive while you're driving this car, even when you're in the passenger seat. So I like it.
Excellent. So what do you think?
I like it. It's lovely, but I'm not the mechanic you are. Would you mind talking us through it? Okay, don't worry. But the mighty VTEC engine, something you've been telling me a lot about.
And you shall experience it, well, right now, because it's time to go for a drive.
Epic.
Right, are you ready to go?
I am ready if you're ready.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
I do like that exhaust.
It is a nice exhaust. As exhausts go,
Right,
that's a nice exhaust.
onto the road.
Onwards!
So obviously, everyone fell in love with this car because of the VTEC. And
Yeah.
who could blame them? It is incredibly fun. But there is so much more to this car than just high revs. As we shall see.
As we will see.
I mean, take a nice country road like the one we're on. Hot hatches are built for this kind of thing, and it's so fun to drive through the corners. As soon as you turn in,
Ooh.
the car responds. It's lovely and smooth.
I've got to be honest, in my car I would have been smashing that brake pedal at that point. But, you've been flashed to slow down.
I'm slowing down.
Now that was quite nice going around that bit.
It's very planted through the corners.
Yes, I do.
Which is the one thing I can't understand about this car. It handles very well, yet the steering lock is so low that the turning circle, I'm going to be honest, it's crap. So on this road, for example, where most cars would do a 3-point turn, you have to do a 5-point turn in this. It's not ideal.
It's not ideal. I bet that, to be honest, you'd want. If we just show you this road we're on right now, that you can see it's not exactly the biggest of roads, but it's also not the smallest of roads.
Indeed. Right, Sam.
Yes.
I think it's time. Would you like your first VTEC experience?
I would like my first VTEC experience.
Here we go. There it is, there it is.
Oh!
And we'll go again. It's kicked in.
Oh!
And we'll ease off.
Oh, reached right up to 70 there. In no time at all. Oh,
Could you
my
feel
God.
it kick in and could you hear it?
You something go wham! And then you could hear how it changed. And it suddenly wham! Like, oh, it's just so good.
I told you, it revs pretty quick. It gets there fast.
It revs more than just pretty quick. And that like van, that sort of caught up when you slowed down a little bit there. Nah. You went straight up to the... Oh, yeah.
That is why people fell in love with this car.
Oh. To be honest, it is a bit breathtaking, that.
As soon as you get to that high rev, your face just lights up. As you probably just saw.
Yes. Oh.
And the other thing that gives this car its really good handling is the independent rear suspension and that chassis. It just dances around roads like this.
Nice. It does, to be honest.
And then when you get to a tight one, you can really slow it down.
And with your short gear ratios, it's quite easy to change gear down to the one you want.
I love the gearbox.
Oh, yes. Oh, that noise. That deep rumble that's gonna go high.
It's very progressive as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the previous owner actually fitted this car with a stainless steel exhaust, which you probably heard earlier before we set off and during. And they also fitted it with a Mugen air intake, which actually took the car up from its standard 197 brake horsepower to 211. As a result, it is ever so slightly quicker from 0 to 60. I haven't tested it myself, but from the but from the paperwork I received when I got it, it's gone from a 6.7 0 to 60 time down to 6.5.
Oh!
And even 15 years later, that's pretty quick for a 2-litre naturally aspirated hatchback.
To be honest, most modern hot hatches are all about the turns, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
All about the windy roads. Look, we've just passed a Fiesta just then. I think it was a Fiesta.
It was.
And like the ST, it is quick, but they've deliberately made it light, so it is fun in the corners.
It's very fun in the corners.
Whereas this has the power to go.
And it does go. You can now confirm it does go.
It goes. Not just that. We're climbing up a hill right now. It's not a steep hill.
I'm in 6th gear.
6th gear, and you can hear that engine is, even though you're in 6th gear, it's still loud. Sorry, the exhaust system.
It can get a bit too loud at times. For example, when you're at a constant speed on, say, a dual carriageway or a motorway, it does drone slightly, and it is a little bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie.
I bet, yeah.
But overall, I mean, for a little bit of droning in the background, it's worth it for that experience of the high revs going through the gears.
It is, and as you just did there, you lift it off a little bit, and you put your foot down and go, oh,
You get a nice little rumble every time. And that's one of my other favourite things about this car. Not only where the gear stick is mounted on the dashboard, but how short the shifts are. You literally just that, and you're in another gear.
Exactly, it's just sort of perfect.
It feels very sporty. It's closer to the steering wheel, and it just feels right. And now, because of this car, I could never buy another car that doesn't have short gear shifts. I just couldn't do it.
I don't think it would work. I don't think going backwards would be nice.
No.
I mean, I'm going to drive this in a minute.
You are?
Not in a minute. Well, not for a minute for you. It'll be a minute for like you know.
It'll be in a minute for you, it won't be in a minute for us.
No, but I don't know how I'm going to cope going backwards. You know, because I'm going to try this gear string.
I know what you mean.
And then I'm going to go back to mine. Oh, Mustang! You can't see it, but it's Mustang. Didn't like the colour though.
No.
The green, the very lime green.
No.
But I don't know how I'm going to cope going back to down on the floor. Big movements.
Yeah. But after all these years of me going on about this car, saying I want one, saying I'm going to get one, and every year I don't have one, now I've finally got one. Do you see why I wanted one so much?
I can see why you wanted one so much. And you asked me earlier if you felt if the seats were too hard.
Yeah, the reason I brought that up is because a lot of people have driven the newer models, so the FK2, the FK8, myself included, I have driven them, and I will admit the seats in them are nicer, they're softer, they're more comfy, they hug you more. But I think it's unfair to say that the seats in the EP3 were hard, because, I mean, it's not a Rolls Royce, but I don't feel like I'm sitting on a chair made of stone.
You're not sitting on a church pew.
No.
You're not sitting on the floor.
No, and when we go around a corner at speed, we're not being thrown around.
Not fully, it doesn't roll, there's no body roll as such.
It's very stable.
Very planted.
Yes. But honestly, for the performance meets happiness ratio, I think it's an absolute bargain. The only car I can think of that you can have as much fun in for as little, the same price, probably a Mazda MX-5.
Yes.
And that's going to be a different sort of fun, obviously, because it's rear-wheel drive.
And also because you can get it convertible.
Yes.
And I think a convertible in like this sort of environment would be better, because it is a bit hot right now. But it would still be a little bit more pantomime to it. Not that it doesn't have any pantomime.
It's got a lot of pantomime. It was built for fun. And if you've had a bad day, if work's pissed you off, or you've had an argument with your girlfriend, jump in your EP3 and you'll be grinning before you leave the driveway. It really is that fun.
I suppose you walk up to it with your keys in hand and it's like, yeah, yeah.
I know I did when I bought it.
I know, exactly, yes. You couldn't wait. We will reconvene at a tunnel.
Oh, there's a Golf R behind me. I'll let him go.
Oh, yeah, look at him.
To be fair, that is a quicker car.
It is a nice car, isn't it?
That is a quicker car.
Oh, no, he's going to do it. He's going to do you both in the tunnel.
He is.
Oh, lower the window!
Tunnel's coming up and there's a Golf R.
There's a Golf R behind. Let's drop it down a bit.
Are we ready?
It's the law!
To be fair, I'll admit.
Slow it down, let him come past.
Oh, wow!
Slow it. Oh, get back up there, come on, just a little bit.
Oh, that sounds better.
I know. Oh, listen to these bangs. Oh.
That sounded better.
And to be honest, both of you together was a harmony on it. You know what you are? You know what this car is? It's the tenor. Out of an opera, it's the tenor. That was the alto screaming.
That Golf R has had some work done to it.
Yeah, that one has had a brand new exhaust.
That Golf R has had some serious work done to it, because that sounded ridiculous. If I didn't know that was a Golf R, honestly, I would have thought that was like a V12 Lambo coming up behind me.
Or if that was an F-Type.
Yeah.
with those bangs.
But
Oh, my neck.
I mean, the whole point of that was to demonstrate what this car sounded like in a tunnel, and I can tell you it does sound very nice, but I think it got very overshadowed by the modified Golf R that went past us.
Definitely, that was a very new Golf R.
Yeah.
But we're coming up to a point where we can turn around.
Yes. Right, windows down, Sam.
Sorry about the wind!
VTEC! I think it sounded good.
You could hear the VTEC there. To be honest, you didn't realise that yours was actually the higher pitch noise out
Yeah.
too.
I mean, I don't have the crackles and bangs like that Golf R did, but at least we actually got to hear this time.
Yeah, I loved the two together because they actually really balanced it. It was almost like being in a lightning storm.
Yeah.
Yours was the high whine of like everything that's going on. His was the bangs of the thunder. Bang, 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 bang.
So if the owner of that particular Golf R somehow sees this video, please let me know it was you, and I want to thank you because that was a fun experience. Right, so we've had a good drive, but now it's time for us to swap seats because this dude is finally going to drive this car that I have been giving him headaches about for about the past 5 years. You looking forward to it?
Definitely feels like 5 years. I'm
Okay.
looking forward.
Right, let's swap seats. And now let's go.
Well, here I am.
We've been on the go for about 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Sam, what do you think of the car?
It's gorgeous.
You like it?
It's gorgeous to drive, to be honest. It's a machine at work that you just have to drive.
But at the same time, it's easy.
It is easy. It is easy because it's a car. And I'm really excited to have 6 gears.
You're so used to 5.
I'm so used to 5. I've never had 6. I'm going to use 6.
You use 6, my friend.
And I said it a second ago where you can just put it in 6th and leave it in 6th and still have the sound, the fun, the excitement, and maintain whatever speed you want to go.
Yeah.
Which is just incredible no matter where you are. And you're on a twisty, windy road. And I must be honest, when I was sitting in that seat, about to be in here, this seat, I was nervous about being able to control it.
Okay.
I was going to be like, no, I'm not going to try it. I'm going to be holding on the steering wheel, pushing my fingers into it, creating grooves,
Yeah.
sweating all over the place. But I'm not. I'm really relaxed,
Yeah.
which is really nice, and it's a nice way to drive.
And you're really relaxed, but at the same time, you're still having fun.
I think I haven't stopped smiling since we set off.
It's a very fun car.
It is a very fun car.
And I've got to be honest, it is weird being in the passenger seat of my own car, but it is just as fun being in the passenger seat of this thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm having just as much fun as Sam is.
Yeah. And what I didn't mention when I was sitting there, which in a way I should have, and Ash has pointed out, is how much space the passenger has.
I mean, I could have a party in here.
Yeah. For definite. Oh, I love the little...
Yeah.
You know, when you lift it off when you're going down.
Yeah. So while we're waiting...
Oh, doesn't matter.
No, while we're pulling away from these lights, I think it's a good opportunity to say we are now going to head up to a road that's hopefully clear enough that you can take this car to VTEC and experience it from the driver's
SLS.
perspective.
SLS in matte green. Yes, where I can access the VTEC.
Yes.
And to be honest, I'm excited about that.
So we will rejoin once we hit that road.
Ash.
So, well, Sam's about to have his first VTEC experience from the driver's seat. You excited?
I am excited.
We've just got to get...
Oh, there's a thicker lift.
We're going to give ourselves a bit of space.
There is a cyclist.
Yeah, that's all right.
It is slightly rainy.
Right. Here we go. Whoa!
That felt epic.
It is cool, isn't it?
That felt so good.
It's cool. It even feels good from the passenger seat.
It does.
Go straight over the next roundabout and you might be able to do it again. Oh, he's doing it again now. There it is, there it is. VTEC, we love VTEC.
Sorry about my facial expression. I was concentrating and enjoying myself at the same time. How do you concentrate and enjoy yourself?
Just
oh, thanks, mate. Cheers. Trying the VTEC engine, just pull out on me. That was you really. Now I must admit, from the passenger seat, you don't feel the pull as much as you do in this seat.
no, but you still feel it.
You do feel the pull. I mean, everyone watching, rent a car with a VTEC engine. Just rent it. And Jesus, it's
Or better yet, buy one of these.
so pub.
Don't drink in VTEC.
Drink after VTEC.
So that concludes our review / experience in the Civic Type R. I've had a great evening. I love this car. But you guys already know what I think of this car, partially because of the previous video. So the question is, Sam, what do you think of the car? Is it as good as you were hoping?
It's better than I was hoping. I was hoping it would excite me. I was expecting it to frighten me, but it didn't frighten me. It held me close. It went, don't worry, mate. You're in safe hands.
It's got your back.
It's got your back. You're shoulder to shoulder into every corner. When that VTEC engine kicks in, it puts a big grin on your face and excites you like, oh, it's going to go on forever.
That second cam is glorious.
To be honest, as soon as you hit the 6,000 mark, you're like, I've entered warp speed.
It does feel like it, yes.
And it's just like, oh my God, I'm going faster than the speed of light.
So what would you say your favourite thing about the car is?
Oof, to be honest, the ride is
Okay.
what surprised me so much. The gears are great.
Yep.
And that'll probably be my second thing.
Okay.
The gears are great.
Because when you ask most people what's their favourite thing about an EP3, they point to the obvious.
They point to the obvious VTEC.
Yes.
They obviously point to the obvious VTEC. The VTEC is great.
Because VTEC, but like, as I said, there's so much more to this car
There
than
is so much
VTEC.
more to go because you can't access the VTEC all the time. And that's the thing, the ride was so perfect for me. In every corner, on every straight, every wind, every bend, every up, down, diddly up, down, and pothole and everything. It's just soaks up the road. It's not the most comfortable. It's not a Maybach. It's not
No.
an S-Class. It's not a Rolls-Royce. It's not that, of course, but with these hard seats, it soaks it all up and you just glide. You literally are, you're gliding. And when you go around roundabouts and when you're pulling off, you're like, I've got the power and I've got the grip to take this, not at a dangerous speed, but faster than you would in a normal car.
Yeah. And it's a lot more comfy than people give it credit for.
Well, a lot more comfy. These seats are not actually that hard.
No, they're not.
I don't know what it'd be like in the back. I think you'd be thrown around a little bit in the back. But these seats, they hug you very nicely. You're planted in it. You're in a more of a racing machine for the road, for the B roads.
Yes.
That eventually they go straight and you power it to the next B road.
What a hot hatch is for, right?
Yes, this is a hot hatch.
It's my favourite hot hatch. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought one. If I didn't own one of these cars, would you buy one?
Now I would.
Yeah?
Now I would if I had the money to pay for the petrol constantly. You know, if I had that security to pay for the insurance and the petrol constantly, I would have no fear.
It's not as bad as you think.
No, I bet, but I've got a nice comfy deal with mine.
Yeah, true.
You know, so, you know, I pay about half what you do for petrol.
Yeah.
And at a much less interval.
Yeah, yeah.
Or greater interval.
I get that.
But saying that, if you love driving and you love cars and you want to have fun, day in, day out, I suggest this is good bang for your buck.
It's a real bargain. And as I said at the beginning of the video, you can pick one of these up for as little as £2,000. If you want a better one, you're probably looking more around the £5,000 mark for a low mileage one. But as Sam said, if you're looking for something that is fun to drive and affordable,
and cheaper than your Focus.
Yes. Yep. Cheaper than your Focus ST.
Your RS, your GTI, your whatever, your Type R. No, not Type R, your R. Your Golf R.
The EP3 offers that proper hot hatch experience at a nice low price. Just one more thing, Sam, before we go. All cars need a name.
Any good family star. So this is a car that's with you for a long time.
Yes.
Good, dear to your heart. Does need a name.
Does need a name. Now, I've been thinking CC. CC the Civic.
CC.
It's got a nice ring to it, I think.
It's a little CC. Little CC. You look at you when they go, how's CC this morning?
So everyone, this is CC. And with that, thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. We certainly had a hell of a lot of fun. Making it.
Great evening.
Very, very good evening. We're going to go inside and eat at McDonald's now. But until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Ring the notification bell. And my name is Ash. His name is Sam. And we will see you in the next video.